Hi, I'm Bacon. Let's talk about Blade. God damn it, this minion. Really?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
I'll be right back. Okay, let's start. Part 1. Balance. So, like I said, I'm here to talk about BladeDancers. That's right, BladeDancers. These ungodly war machines with insanely high HP and with damage that is only comparable to a tactical nuke going off right under your feet. Now, you might be wondering, what can you do against these monsters? I mean, there must be no way of killing them, let alone surviving them. Well, that's where you're
Wrong.
lucky for you, there is a very simple solution to all of this. You run. Okay, I'm kidding. Kind of. If you stay this distance away, the mean blade dancer can't hurt you. Obviously, there are some ways for a blade dancer to close the gap, so to speak. But these skills, they just are not so amazing. There's hamstring that won't even work anywhere further than 2 squares away, which really is not a lot. Then there's rush, which is, well, it's slow, is what I'm saying. Now there might be some of you that are going off
Say, hold up, wait a minute.
and are saying that was edited. And to that my response is,
Shut up!
if you've never played Blade Dancer, you would have no idea how slow rush feels. It's the same as you laying on a couch wanting some snacks, but the fridge with the snacks is like 5 meters away, which is nothing but feels like a damn light year. And you keep laying there, thinking, what's wrong with me? Am I really this lazy of a person that getting up and walking 5 meters is too much for me? And you just keep thinking and thinking, going in an endless cycle until you eventually give up. You admit that you're exactly that lazy and you keep watching your movie without the snacks. Now multiply the time spent on that by 10 and you have rush. So, what else is there to say about balance? Blade dancers are much like the heavy from Team Fortress 2. They lack range, are kinda slow and bulky, but will destroy you if you get too close. I would call them balanced. Except maybe this thing. Now, there is this stigma about blade dancers that they are easy to use, which I've been trying to prove wrong, but it just doesn't work. And it's not for the lack of trying. Like, look, I'll show you, right? See this topic? You know, seal fights against berserks. And you know, they're not bad players, they have good gears, they understand how seals work. And this was commented there. Which is fine. I suppose, I mean, it's only one comment. It doesn't really matter that much. But you know, life goes on. And a while later, I decided to upload another video. This time, it was a PvE video, to be safe. And it was about me soloing Nadir, right? So I opened the thread to see what people had said. So I scrolled down and guess what the first thing I see is? You know what? I'm going to prove it to you once and for all, blade dancers aren't that simple.
dos, tres. I know you want me. You know I want ya.
Intercore BladeDancers might be considered a simple class to play.
Which it isn't.
But that seems to be the common agreement, so we'll roll with it.
However,
Lucky for you, there are a few different builds you can make. 4 builds, to be exact. Like I said, there are 4 main builds. First one being the ever so popular DPS build. Is clicking 4 skills too much for you? Do you want things to be even easier than they already are? Would you like to mindlessly stare at your screen while the game does all the work for you? Then worry not, the Seeker made in China. It's your build. With just one click, this satisfied customer can delete his target. For the low price of 50 mil in gears and books, you can be almost as viable as Seekers. So what are you waiting for? Call us now! And you may own your own almost Seeker by tomorrow. The second main build is the normal tank build. These builds can tank most things fairly easily and can do more damage than Wardens usually can. And honestly, they are pretty easy to summarize. Have you ever seen these? Well, if you have, you're not getting any gifts this year. Regardless, you take this ad, but instead of the woman, there's like a picture of a hot blade dancer. And it just says that, do you like blade dancers everywhere? And instead of a boyfriend, they'd be looking for a dungeon party, you know? And smack bang in the middle is this big bright text saying Wardens hate this one trick. Which is funny because there's like no use for Wardens, right? I mean, they're practically redundant at this point. The class has like no point, which is kind of hilarious, right? Right? Okay. The third main build is the Dodge Blade Dancer, which is admittedly pretty rare these days to see. They're not a common sight at all. But because this skill does exist, it allows for a somewhat high dodge without much effort really. And when you have a Blade Dancer that is already hard to kill, has loads of damage, and now you make it fast enough to dodge your attacks, it's kinda like Bruce Lee and The Rock had a baby, and this is what came out of it. But sadly, our overlords at AI Grind came down from the heavens, and they swung their banhammer and he was gone. And that kind of marked the end of Dodge Blade Dancers, in EU at least.
Look, up in the sky! It's
A barbarian. A rogue. A fully awarded Blade Dancer.
Yes, it's Superman!
Now the fourth build is easily the most fun build you could have on any class in this game. In my humble opinion at least. Like, there is no better feeling in this game than rushing into 5, 6, 7 people who are not ready for you, stunning 3 or 4 of them, killing the others and finishing the rest, all in the span of like 25 seconds. And that's exactly what Blade Dancers are good for. They're amazing at dealing with groups of weaker enemies, or enemies that are not ready for you to suddenly rush into them. And that's kind of where the being extremely good at something stops. Oh right, yeah, I got to do this first. Warning. Warning. Blade Dancers are really good at punishing weaker opponents or people who make mistakes. BladeDancers are really good at punishing weaker opponents or people who make mistakes. If you get too close, if you're not geared properly, you're going to die, and there's not much you'll be able to do about it. And that really sums up BladeDancers in my opinion. They're easy to avoid, but if you make a mistake, you will pay for that mistake. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. There are more things to be said about Arena and some class combinations and stuff like that. But if I'm completely honest, I'm probably the only person who cares about that stuff. So I'm not gonna get too badly into it. And like, let's be real, the video is almost 11 minutes long. There's not going to be anybody watching it anymore. But anyway, if someone made it this far, thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked at least some part of it, and catch you next time.